Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, ES balanced within a range, and then off the non-farm payroll report, we saw a upside breakout and a test of the 85 to 87 resistance zone where we're getting a little bit of selling coming into the market right now. So heading into the open, as long as ES can hold above the 77 to 79 pre-market support, or worst case scenario above the 75.5 to 76 area, this breakout can technically remain intact. Now the breakout is from the overnight balance, and the main area of resistance that ES would have to clear in order to confirm the buyers in control is this 85 to 87 area. So for now, we're going to assume that the breakout above the overnight range and above yesterday's range is going to be valid and sustained unless we start seeing a complete lack of strength in the internals and the momentum situation off the open. So 77 to 79 is going to be very key to establish our intraday bias, because if this breakout is legitimate, then we should continue to hold above 77 to 79. Then on the upside, like I said, 85 to 87 is the first area of resistance, which is a short-term hurdle. Beyond that, the market can test 89, where we have a naked VPOC, an open gap, and 91 quarter. We could get some selling over there, and then the next important zone is going to be 95 quarter to 97 quarter, where sellers can still be active, especially because you would be exhausting the range into that zone. And then, of course, we have the all-time high at the 99 to 2301 area. So right now, even though the overnight session has been quite bullish, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go straight up for rest of the day, because you can see that the overnight low is at that 70 to 72 zone. So as we start heading higher, the market is going to begin to get short-term exhausted, which means that even if it doesn't turn around, it can still stall, and it can still go into a balancing phase. So we just need to be careful in terms of initiating new longs at aggressive prices, because there simply may not be enough reward potential. So even if there is directionality to the upside, and even if we are seeing signs of broad market strength and upside momentum, if the market's already made a 15 or 20 point move to the upside, then there simply may not be enough reward potential to justify taking a long at such a high price. And then, like I said, we still need to take out this 85 to 87 area in order to really confirm the buy side in control, because so far you can see that we are still trading within, for the most part, this week's balance area. And 85 to 87 marks the high of this week's balance area. So this is going to be important going into the open. On the downside, pre-market support 77 to 79 is going to be important, and a failure to hold 77 to 79 and 75.5 to 76 would mean that this is now a failed breakout from the overnight range, and that can bring the 70 to 72 into play, yesterday's low at 66.75, and the 62 to 64.5 support zone as well. So if we fail to hold the 75.5 to 76 and the pre-market support zone, we would have to be cautious fading 70 to 72, because in that case it would be a failed breakout scenario, which could lead to a test of lower prices, even into the previous day's low and the 62 to 64.5, where buyers can still defend. That is still going to be a major zone for us in terms of support, and we're still going to continue using that as the bigger picture bull bear zone. So that is how the market is set up right now heading into the open. Of course, because this is a breakout above yesterday's range and above the overnight range, we are going to give preference to the buyers above 77 to 79 and exercise caution on the short side. But if we start seeing signs of a lack of strength at these higher prices, or if the market simply gets exhausted into yet another area of resistance, whether it be 89 or 91 quarter or the 95 quarter to 97 quarter, that could still technically present a good short setup on the day time frame. even if that short setup is simply for a reaction and not necessarily a bigger move lower, because we could just then start to balance yet again. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Let's see if this overnight breakout can sustain above 77 to 79, and we'll take it from there.